Well, good evening, Arkansas, and a very happy Friday Eve to everybody out there around the state. How about this fall weather that we have in place across the state? It feels great. It's amazing, and I know many of us were ready to get rid of that summer air mass that we've had in place for a really long time. Basically, some of the coolest weather we've had since early May across the state. Now, obviously, no rainfall across the state this evening, and as you saw a little bit earlier, not many clouds either, and that's really going to be the story over the next several days as we continue this fall air mass. But as per typical Arkansas in late September, we do start to see the transition a little bit where the temperatures start to roller coaster ahead of a new storm system, and that's basically what we are going to see over the next several days. But overall, though, this evening, a very nice evening across the state, coming in at 73 Harrison, 75 in Jonesboro, 73 in Newport, 81 in Fort Smith, 79 in Mena, 81 in Texarkana, 77 in Monticello, 79 in El Dorado, 75 over in Stuttgart, and of course 79 here in the capital city. Overall, a very nice evening across the state, and once again we are going to see those temperatures drop off fast this evening into the 40s and 50s. Well, once again overnight, and this is really going to be the last night we see those 40s and 50s. We're going to start seeing that transition up a little bit, not a lot, but again, as high pressure starts to shift off towards the east, we will see that transition to more of a southerly wind flow, therefore bringing at least a little bit more moisture back into the forecast. But overall, though, it's going to be a very nice weekend across the state. Of course, if you're traveling to Dallas or Tulsa for either Arkansas and A&M or A State and Tulsa, it's going to be a very nice weekend travel-wise across the state and really across our entire region. Warmer and dry is going to be the main story. Temperatures creeping back up to above average levels, mostly 80s across the state. We may inkle out a 90 or two, but I don't see that yet. In terms of the overnights, we'll see overnights come up a little bit, about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than what we've seen the past couple nights. But overall, though, we will see those warm days and cool nights, very typical of early fall in the natural state. Now, as we head to early next week, we'll be watching for what I'm calling summer's last stand. Now, could it be summer's last stand in terms of a heat wave? That remains to be seen. 80s does look to be the primary threat. We could see a 90 or two here or there, but again, I don't see us seeing that 95 to 100 that we've seen time and time again in late September and early October. Of course, with dry air in place and the drought that we've had for so long, that could lead us to seeing a few more 90s than is currently forecast across the state. Of course, you will be the first to know about it as we get a better idea on how the pattern looks Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And the reason why I say that, Arkansas weather is going to be sandwiched in between. It's basically what we call an omega block. Now, if this was winter, we'd be talking the potential of cold air as well as the potential for winter weather. But that's not going to be the case with this. Obviously, it is still September, but we are going to be what I'm calling an Arkansas weather pattern sandwich, where we have a high to our east, we have a trough to our west, we have a high to our north, and basically a very stagnant flow across the state. What that's going to do is it's going to keep pumping Gulf moisture into the state, but we're going to be just on the edge of the trough. The trough's going to be just to our west, so therefore it's going to lead to a cutoff low. What that's going to do is it's going to prevent that low from coming into the state, at least for the early part of the week. Therefore, that means at least some rain hedges, with the highest rain hedges being in West Arkansas, lowest east. But what that also means is that we're going to have moisture coming in, but not much in the way of rainfall, because we're going to be kind of in that sinking air on the western side of that high. So it's going to be one of those types of deals where we have to have the pattern to break one way or the other for us to get meaningful rainfall here in the state. But don't fear, because this low does look to move through as we head towards next weekend. Now, with that, we could be watching a little bit more than just rainfall, but it's still too early to get into all that just yet. And of course, with that, our temperature roller coaster will continue as we are cool to start. We warm up back to late summer type air mass late weekend and early next week, and then of course we come back down to seasonal averages as we head into next weekend across the state. Overall, though, across the state, not a bad week ahead for our folks in northern Arkansas. It will get a little bit warm as we head towards Sunday and Monday, but still very nice for the time of year, and dry air in place will keep it at least comfortable. We will see those dew points coming up a little bit, but nothing too uncommon for late September across the state. Obviously, still watching the Tuesday through Thursday, maybe as late as Friday and Saturday, for the potential for at least a few isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. I've kept those chances low for now, simply because of the unknowns when it comes to how far east that upper low tracks before it washes out across the state. Now, as we head into the central part of the state, of course, Friday will be our coolest day across this part of the state. We will see a warming trend into the upper 80s. Would not be surprised to see a 90 or 2, especially across parts of central, up into the River Valley, and into parts of east central Arkansas as well. Again, I've kept us just below that because I think there's going to be just enough ground moisture in parts of this region to prevent that. But overall, it's going to be a little bit warmer and a little bit more noticeable humidity than what we've seen over the past couple of days as we head towards middle and late week. Of course, still waiting to see what that upper low does. But again, back to seasonal averages as we head towards the end of next week, and as well, at least a very small chance of rain and or storms. Now, for our folks in southern Arkansas, again, same exact thing here. It's going to be a cool Friday, followed by a gradual warming trend into the early part of next week. Would not be surprised to see a 90 or 2 here as well. And then, of course, as we head into the latter half of the week, again, we start to come back down to those seasonal averages, with those rain hitches coming up just a little bit here and there across the south. Again, the bigger story is going to be the warm-up as we head into early next week. Nothing extreme, not expecting a massive heating issue, but it will be noticeable, especially compared to what we've seen over the past couple of days. I don't expect it to last long, as there are signs of another major cold front coming down as we head into the 1st of October. Very nice weekend coming up. Get out and enjoy it if you can. We will have an update for you in the morning, going over all you need to know to plan for your Friday night lights, right here on your source for all things Arkansas weather.